Hi, Facebook Live fans and family. Thank you so much for being here with us today. This is Tracey Knight, your self-mastery coach. I am so excited to be here with Kimberly Griffin from DBE Enterprises. And before we get started with our interview today, I wanted to remind you to always like us, tag us, share us, and now I want to ask you to start commenting. If you have questions that you want to ask us, you want to ask our guest on the show, please feel free to just send us a little message, and I'll be paying attention to those that are coming across the stream, and we'll get your questions answered. And even if it's after this live broadcast, please feel free to post your questions, and I'll make sure that we go back and we respond to those questions. Okay. So this is a week, this is the second week of the month of no excuses, living a life of absolutely no excuses. And the theme for this particular week is living our life on purpose. We have absolutely no excuse for not living our life on purpose. As we said in previous segments, there is a difference between purpose, passion, and potential. They're all three connected though. Your purpose is what brings meaning to your life. It is a part of a link in a chain. As I said before, we are all put here to heal and serve humanity. But the way in which you do that is your own unique contribution. You're a part of the human tapestry, and you actually have a responsibility to fulfill your piece of the picture, the grand picture. Right? And so when you're not on purpose, when you haven't taken the time to still yourself to find out what that is, then someone is missing out on the very thing that you could have contributed. And more importantly, you fail to sort of feel like you have had the maximum amount of impact that you could during this lifetime. Now, your passion is more about what is fueling. Passion is all about emotion and energy. And so you want to make sure that you are tapping into the thing that you're most passionate about, because that's what's going to drive you through when you run up against obstacles. Finally, potential. Now, everybody has potential. They really do. Those are talents, skills, and abilities that we're really given. But there are some unique things that set us apart when we're talking about utilizing our potential, because this is the space where fear can oftentimes creep in. And so the fear of success, the fear of failure can oftentimes keep us from fulfilling our purpose and really tapping into that passion. What we're doing this week is bringing you people like Kimberly Griffin here who have found ways to really begin to master themselves. It's not that they have it all figured out, but they have found ways to catapult themselves through those barriers to fulfill what they see as their purpose. So Kim, I just want to welcome you to You Revealed and introduce you to the audience by asking you, what is DBE Enterprises? Tell us about DBE, the acronym, and what it is that you do and how that contributes to your purpose.
Thank you, Tracey. First of all, thank you for having me. Second of all, the name of the company is DBE Consulting.
Yes.
And DBE Consulting stands for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and consulting is what I do. And DBE has been around for 7 years. Actually, I think we're going on 8 years now. And what we do is we assist small businesses with getting their minority certifications in certain areas. We assist small companies with writing or responding to proposals for government contracts. And we also do small business consulting.
Great. Excellent. I'm going to ask you to speak up just a little bit.
Sure.
So, all right. So DBE Consulting, my apologies, DBE Consulting is empowering minority businesses to do business anywhere, but specifically in airports.
Well, yes, we do specialize mostly in airports.
Okay.
However, certifications run across the gamut. That's any city, state, county contracts. So certification crosses the board, but airports definitely is my specialty, my sweet spot.
Excellent, excellent. And I know that getting into airports sometimes can be, that's a coveted position to be in, to get into an airport, to be able to do business, especially in a Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, the largest airport in the world. To do business in there is a coveted place. How did you even get into this as an African-American woman? an entrepreneur. How did you even get into this, and how did you know that this was linked to your purpose?
Great question. I went to massage school in Florida. Knew I was called to do something great, knew I was a healer. My hands are definitely my gift. Read an article, a young lady who was in the airport, and I said, this is what I want to do. This is it. I literally moved here to Atlanta, linked up with quite a few people, that's some that we both know, and started pursuing, I am supposed to be in the airport. Went to a conference, met someone who said, because you contacted me, I'm going to make sure you get in. And they did that. And so I opened up Traveling Grace Massage and Spa Service in the Raleigh-Durham Airport, ran that successfully for 6 years.
Wow,
and,
amazing.
Definitely was on my point, was about definitely my passion, where I wanted to be, knew that this is what I was called to do. Everything I wrote, everything I saw was all about airports and massage. 6 years in, my oldest daughter was in a near fatal car accident.
Okay.
Definitely changes your point of view on what's important to you.
Yes.
And once that happened, I kind of stepped away, became a flight attendant for a while, but during that time still had a passion to write business plans, assist people with what they were doing, and was actually quite bored. And a friend of mine called and said, hey, I'm in Florida and there's no one here to do certification, and they have a big contract and they need minorities on it. Can you fly down?
Wow.
And went down for an RFP meeting, sat there, and they started talking about certification, and I started doing my research. And I'd say 6 months later, DBE Consulting started.
Wow, that's amazing. You've given so many amazing nuggets there. You know, one was simply that you have healing hands. So she had one thing that she knew she did well, and she morphed that into a business, okay, to serve. And then something in life happened that transformed the way that she was going to be able to do it. And while she was there, she was getting other skills, the skill of being in the airport, writing your own business plan, and whatever else you had to do to make that business successful for 6 years. So even when life happened, you took everything that you knew and morphed it into something else that still allowed you to serve. So what is driving you to passionately get up every single day and do this work? Because you're not actually laying physical hands on people anymore, but you are empowering people to fulfill a dream, which there's even a healing in that.
Right now, I think I am fulfilling a need. It's interesting how many people don't understand.
Just a little louder.
How many people don't understand what it takes to just do the small things, to me, as far as paperwork. And it's just simply helping someone to complete something that when you look at a packet like this, for some people is overwhelming. And I can sit up in the middle of the night and put one of these together. So I think that's part of my gifting, and just realize that I can assist someone to do this. Takes me a few hours, but it takes some people a lot longer. And we have such a success rate, it just made sense. I knew I was called to do this because, once again, for me, it was something that came really easy to do, something I had learned, something I went and studied to make sure I had all the documentation to say I can do this. I wanted to make sure I was trained properly, and from that, I now have mentors.
Yes.
I make sure I go on a regular basis, once a year, check in, get my new skills, and just keep it up. And once again, for me, it's something that I can just do. It's just a gift God's given me.
Wow. Okay, so I've got to point out these couple of points here. One, you said it's something that came easy to you. And I always think that that's when the Holy Spirit, like your spirit, God in you, is talking to you. It's saying, yes, this is for you. Like that's that potential. Like you've taken that, and I'm in this. I'm in the ebb and flow. And you were just moving in that flow. And then where there were gaps, you went and expanded your capacity, your potential. You expanded that. And I always say, we know that we're on purpose when your career, when it's choosing you, when life is choosing you. Would you say that that's happened for you?
I would definitely say that happened. And it's interesting, going back to when you think one door has closed, massage is definitely, as you know, my real passion, truly what I know at the end of the day I'll be doing. I will definitely be giving a massage on the beach, touching, healing, some little child, someone, I will be placing my hands on them. But in the meantime, it's interesting when you go through something that changes. Right now, I don't want to touch anyone, or you have to heal yourself, or you're going through something and you can't do that. And God shows you another way to still work with, and still to be able to say, you're good. You're still doing traveling grace.
Yes.
You are still in this market. You're just right now on a different path to get you where you need to go. And right now, this fulfills another need for me. This is a check the box, takes care of a lot of things that are in my mind and my head that I have to do to get me where I'm supposed to be, which is the next phase of where I'm going to end up going.
That's excellent. So you literally are laying hands on people's businesses and bringing life to those businesses. How important is having vision? When you're in this type of role, we're talking about potential now. We've talked about passion. We've talked about purpose. How important is it for you to have a vision for how you see your life and how you see your capacity to serve, in tying in, talent, skills, ability, all of this? How important is it to have vision, and what do you do to keep the vision in front of you?
I think that's different for different people. So for myself, I think vision is really important. I believe in write the vision, make it plain. So I have to see where I'm going. And it's interesting, sometimes you can't see clearly. You can see where you're going down here, but you're not sure of all those steps. But if you know where you're going, the story starts to write itself.
Yes.
For me, I am definitely need to see it. And what's interesting is helping me see my clients. When my clients are talking to me, I need to get a clear vision so I can assist them with getting there. So if they can't show me where they're going, I can't assist them to get there. So you have to have some kind of vision, some kind of clarity. But sometimes people are sent along just like you, sometimes like me or whoever, to help you put those pieces of the puzzle together. But you have to show us, you have to see, this is what I see at the end. This is where I see my business going. And then God places people in your path to assist you to get there. I think it's really important.
That's excellent. And what's intriguing to me is you said that even with vision, with sight, we don't always see the long-term gain. We don't always see the end result. It's kind of like our GPS system. The GPS system, of which I operate from an internal GPS, and it's what I'm teaching all those who are following the self-mastery courses that we offer, is to follow your internal GPS, which is your intuition. And it may only give you the sight of a few feet in front of you, but you must be able to have the faith to take that step, to take that leap, to just take that step and then wait for the next image to be shown, or the next, the light to shine on the next few steps, so that you can take those steps. In other words, you don't have to have it all figured out, but just take a step towards it.
Oh, I agree. It's going to come. God has never failed us. He said he feeds the sparrows. He's going to take care of you.
Yeah,
so
amen.
It's coming. So you just have to believe and know, trust, and have that faith that, okay, I don't know what the next step is, but I know I'm on purpose. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing today. And sure enough, a door open, a phone call, something will happen to let you know, oh, this was the right nugget for today. I'm on my path. Let me go this way and keep going.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And I just want to acknowledge Thomas Hargrove out there. We see you out there, brother, from New Jersey. Jen, we see you out there. Michael Hampton, we see you out there. Yes, we are out here teaching. I'm going to have you on the show one day, Thomas, because you have some things that our audience definitely needs to hear. Okay. Kim, I wanted to talk about owning your own life, because the one thing that we espouse here at You Revealed is the power of owning your own life, meaning the power of being self-responsible. And so, you and I have talked at great length in the past about what it has meant for you to take ownership, full ownership of your life. And you've definitely had your times of ups and downs, ups and downs. What does it mean for you to take full ownership of your life? And what is the guidance system that you use to navigate through that?
Wow. Well, I've been an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been doing this now most of my life. Since my since my late 20s, I've owned my own business, and I've grown through so many experiences. And I'd say taking ownership of that means I'm fully responsible. I get up every day, like you said. If I don't get up, things don't happen.
That's right.
You know, I have a staff of 7 people every day who depend on me to make sure we have something coming in, that we're working, and we're all on point. And it's important for me to make sure that happens. And not only do I have my staff, but I have businesses that I work with.
Yes.
You know, contracts, things that deadlines. So it's really important to me to own my business, to take ownership of everything that happens, take responsibility, because there are some days where everything does not go as planned.
Yes.
But to be able to get up and know, okay, I have a plan for the next day. You know, this is part of the process. Whether it's a fail day or a success day, it's all a teaching moment, it's all a learning moment, and it's all something that's going to take me further down the line of where I'm going. So I think taking ownership, taking responsibility, and every day getting up, really, truly, and just being in a grateful spirit that I can get up and do this on my own, the way I choose to do it.
Yes.
And this is the way I choose to run my business, live my life on purpose. I am where I'm supposed to be today. So I think that's...
Excellent. Excellent. You know, I wanted to talk a little bit about the whole fear of success, fear of failure. And you and I have had many great conversations about fear is a spirit that we don't want to just own. But the truth is, in humanity, that fear comes up. That feeling of fear comes up. And so we have to learn how to really navigate through that. I believe that there are only 2 real feelings in the world, and that is love and fear. Everything is a derivative of that. And so what we want to learn to do is to cleave more to everything that is produced out of love. Courage is produced out of love. And so we've got to learn how to navigate that, and that's what our self-mastery courses teach you how to do. But the thing I wanted to say, you mentioned something about having a staff, and I just want to give a little bit of a testimonial. I know that I kept myself kind of small. When I say small, I've been in business for 12 years. But, you know, I didn't want to grow beyond a boutique type firm, and I've been successful. But it was because I was afraid of really being successful. I was afraid of being as successful as I could be. I didn't want to have the responsibility of managing a full-on staff. I mean, I have about 9 people, but I know I have the capacity to maybe have 900. And so I thought, oh my God, you know, having all these people responsible for me, you know, could be a huge burden. How have you navigated through maybe the fear of failure or the fear of success as it pops up?
So for me, fear is not an option. There are 365 verses in the Bible that says fear not. So I have to stand on one every day. If that's what I need to do, then that's what I need to do, because I cannot carry that spirit and not be out here on the edge all the time. On the ledge, you cannot do that fear. You have to know that there's a joy in jumping off.
Yes.
You got to step in the deep.
Yes.
So whatever that deep water has, guess what? His hand is there to assist me.
Woo.
So I have to walk in that on a regular basis, first of all. Fear of success is interesting. For me, I kept hearing this through the conversations, you know, Kim, you're a boutique business. You can be this, you can do this, you can do social media and grow this, you can do this and do this. But guess what? This is not where I'm supposed to be. And this time I am meant to be a boutique business that specializes and can help people to get what they need. Okay. I like that for me in this season.
Yes.
Now, in my next season, example, when I was in the airport, that was not small. That was humongous.
Yes.
So I don't have a fear of success. Where I am now, this is a space where I like. You see, it's quiet in here. It's not a lot of noise. Everyone works independently. This is where I'm supposed to be now. Okay. Now, when I go to the next one, if it is to be grand, I am open to that, because I've already had a measure of what that looks like.
Yes.
I've had the accountant who's had to have it. I've had the payroll where you have a staff of 3 shifts you've got. I've been there, done that.
Yes.
Where I am now, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I think that's important to know where you're supposed to be to navigate. Is this my season of success? And then the fear of failure. Fortunately, I think failure helps you to realize who you are. You know, sometimes you need to be broken down, and I have. I have a client that wasn't happy with me, and that was on me at the end of the day, taking responsibility. And then being able to sit down with that client, to face that client, that was the part of the part of the fear. Like, to sit down and say, you know what, I messed up. How do we get past this?
Yes.
Not to walk away, not to run, not to ignore, but to actually deal with it. and God gave me what I needed to do that. Guess what? This client said, I would use you again. So usually the fears that you put in your mind,
that's right,
they're not really there.
Yes.
So once you really realize that, okay, I can face this giant. He's giving me everything I need in my tool, but I can face this. It helps you to go on. So
I've heard you say two things there. Hey, Lee Skaggs, I heard you say two things there. One is to know what season you're in walking in your purpose. And if you're an entrepreneur or seek to be an entrepreneur, there is a season for everything. And so being comfortable with whatever that season is and fully embracing it. Which brings me to her second point, which was in perceived failure, which I don't like to call it failure as much as I want to call it setbacks and opportunities to grow, being available and open to whatever that lesson is and facing it courageously.
Yeah.
Facing it courageously. That's awesome. Hey, Janelle, I see you out there. So the final question I want to ask you to do is to give 3 tips to our viewers. And when I ask for 3 tips, what I'm looking for, we're teaching people how to become a master of themselves. We are responsible and we make a choice every second of every day about the thoughts we're going to think, the beliefs that we have about ourselves, the feelings that we have about ourselves, the actions that we take, what we say about ourselves. Every second of every day, you are making a choice about it, and you must become that which you say you are, that which you do, that which you feel yourself to be, that which you believe yourself to be, that which you have chosen. You automatically become that. So choose wisely. Can you give 3 tips about how you sort of master yourself?
thank you. Yes, my first one I wrote down was staff your weakness. We can't be everything to all people. You know what your strengths and weaknesses are. My weakness is math, always has been. So I literally have an accountant, shout out to Catherine, who has been by my side for 18 years. It is really important to understand your finances. But for me, not only to understand mine, but all of the people I work with as well.
Yes.
And yes, I need that on a regular basis. And I'm okay with that. And that's not my only weaknesses. I have several others. But when it's time, I definitely know to go outside of who I am. Let the ego go. Let whatever go and say, look, this is not my area of strength. Let me staff this area.
That's amazing.
You know, you've got to be able to do that. So for some people, paperwork is not their thing.
Yes.
Hire someone to do that for you.
Yes.
It's okay. And guess what? Catherine does not take away from my payroll or what I do. Actually, she adds to my payroll because someone knows I have someone professional who's going to handle that area of my business. Sometimes they want to know that. So there's nothing wrong with staffing your weakness, and it never takes away from you. My second one I wrote down is take care of yourself.
Yes.
Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You cannot give your all to someone else or your business if you're not in tune with who you are. And now I'm speaking to myself. It is something we have to do on a regular basis. Take time out for yourself. Take some time to really think it through. Know exactly where you're supposed to be mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if that means going outside and getting counseling or whatever that means for you, but understand, working all the time, I talk to people all the time about this, that's not necessarily good for yourself. To be on that wheel that's constantly moving and not get off and take a break so you can check and see where you are. And if you are right where you're supposed to be on your path, we need to check in.
Yes.
Take some time, take a break, take a day, take a 2. Just to breathe.
Yes.
Turn off your phone.
Yes.
And just be present with yourself and check in. You know, do a self-check, a self-awareness. I think that's really important. And third, I said hire a coach. Tell yourself positive affirmations and have someone to mentor you. I think that's really important as you grow. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we isolate ourselves. And so we are our own critic, our own person who gives us our cheerleading thing. But sometimes you need to check in because sometimes you need someone to say, hey girl, no, you should be here. Why aren't you doing this? To make you think a little bit outside of your box and not only in your own head. So I think that's important. And sometimes if you don't want to go to a coach, just get you a good book that tells you something positive that you're doing daily, because then you're going to go out and speak this into someone else. I think it's so important to speak life into what you do. You are living your life on purpose. You are where you're supposed to be today, and you need to know that so you can stay where you need to be, so you can bring someone else up. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
I agree 110%. I just want to give a shout out to my line sister Adrienne Woods out there. I see you. Thank you for the love. And my mentee, Amia, over in Birmingham, Alabama. I want to give a shout out to Tanya Cruz, who's watching. We love you out there. Listen, let me just recap very quickly, because Kim has given us so many wonderful nuggets here. The first one being to staff your weakness. It's important for us to know those areas where we're vulnerable. It doesn't take anything away from you to know the areas that you are most vulnerable in. We need Lego pieces. I call them Lego pieces, those relationships that fill in the gap for us. And so it is through those that we begin to reassure or secure ourselves and them at the same time. So we are able to expand and catapult ourselves into our success. And then I think the second one was about self-care. We're all about self-care on this program, and we're going to have amazing interviews this week. I'm doing a lot of segments this week around feeding your body nutritious food, so please stay tuned. But self-care in all ways is absolutely essential in order for you to do this work. And then finally, mentoring. I believe what you see is what you'll be. And so surrounding yourself with people of like minds and like spirits, iron sharpening iron, which is the other type of a relationship. One is a Lego piece, one is iron sharpening iron. Kim is definitely one of my iron sharpeners. And so, yes, so we're here. It's important for you to surround yourself with people who feed and pour into you. And I want to see more of the sisters doing that. And I also want to see us doing that more as men and women, especially people of color. You know, we don't have to just deplete each other and to take from one another. Loving each other expands our capacity to heal and serve not only ourselves, but humanity. So with that, we're going to wrap up this segment. Kim, how can people get in touch with you?
Website at www.dbeconsulting.com. You can also contact me on LinkedIn, DBE Consulting, Twitter, DBE Consulting, and then also you can also give me a call, 404-966-3573. And thank you so much, Tracey.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I will have to tell you, Kim helped me get my DBE certification. It is absolutely invaluable if you're going to be doing business, especially nationally. Please consider doing that. I want to give a shout out to Trina Terrell. I saw Angela Mahoney pop up there. There are a few people I see chiming in from Central State University. So yay, go Marauders. With that, I want to say, like us, share us, tag us, send us your comments. If there's a segment topic that you'd like to hear, please send it to me and I'll make sure that we get it on. We're on the move. We are creating a movement of people who are transforming their lives. They are taking back their power, transforming, and they are winning at their own life. We have got to change the trajectory of our society, and it begins one person at a time doing their own individual work. So I invite you to get on this train, and yeah. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the love that's out there. Stay tuned this week. Let's see, tomorrow on our show, we have a veganist who will be preparing some healthy, nutritious shakes or smoothies for us. And then on Thursday, I cannot wait. I am so excited that you will have an opportunity to dine at the Four Seasons with Sean Bunt and the new chef that has just been hired over at the Four Seasons here in Atlanta, Georgia. So they have a rooftop garden that we will be touring, and we'll be talking about how they use that to prepare healthy meals and to fulfill the experience of the Four Seasons, but wait to see how all of this is tied in to them fulfilling their purpose. And then later on this week, I'll be traveling to Cincinnati, Ohio. Got some special guests coming on the show there. So I look forward to having you join me, always during the lunchtime hour, sometime between 11:30 and 1. You can tune in to us, like us, share us, tag us. Talk to you real soon. Take good care.